What's going on, all you sexy beasts I like to call you Cleveland sports fans? Welcome back to episode number 6 of Cold Takes from the Land.
Cold takes from the land. We get the coldest takes from the hottest Cleveland sports fans.
And today we got a lovely pregame video as the Cleveland... Oh, Jesus. All right. As you can see, we're in high spirits as Austin takes a sip. But we got a big old game going into Lucas Oil Stadium to visit the Indianapolis Colts. And what I like to think is a pretty big game, even though some fans may overlook it. How do you think, buddy? You think this is a big one?
Definitely. Yeah, we cannot come out and go 3-3 after we just beat the best team in the NFL.
Exactly.
So, got to come away with a win here, whether it's by 1 point, 2 points, or 37 points. Don't matter. Cavs in 7.
Exactly. All right. But, Jesus. But, let's throw out some stats
Don't
there.
mind me. I'm just getting hydrated over here.
Yeah, it's all right. That's all right, buddy. I'm hydrating on some old Yingling traditional lager here, having a good time. But let's get into some stats. The Cleveland Browns offense getting about 345 yards a game, 198 through the air, 147 on the ground. As for the Colts, they're getting about 359 yards a game, 243 through the air, and 116 on the ground. Not too shabby. Now, defensively, this is the big gap. The Colts are giving up an astounding 378 yards a game, 265 through the air, 113 on the ground, whereas the Browns, led by old Jimmy Neutron at defensive coordinator, are only allowing 222 yards a game, 143 through the air, 79 through the ground. And as we have already specified over previous episodes, this defense, as I said, led by old Jimmy Neutron, is quite historic, and I expect another big showing. What do you think, buddy?
Yes, sir. I was going to say, I think another good game from the defense. I think they can hold them hopefully within 10 points or so. The rushing stats kind of caught me off guard there. You said they average 114 yards a game on the ground.
116. They give up about 114 on the ground.
116. Okay, and what did we average on the ground? You said 143?
147.
Damn, that's not bad. That's honestly a little higher than I predicted with the Browns, because we haven't had them since the second week of the season.
No, yeah, for sure. I just think a lot of that is from the different carries we've gotten from different running backs. But yeah, this game's a weird one because the Colts had a nice start to the year with Anthony Richardson at quarterback. They had some close games. They beat the Ravens actually in Baltimore without Anthony Richardson. But now old Anthony Richardson is out for the year, so it's going to be old Gardner Minshew playing QB for them. So it's definitely going to be a bit of a different look, though I think one that definitely doesn't worry you as much, at least from a physical talent standpoint, just because Gardner is very limited in what he can do.
Oh, I'm terrified. I'm shaking in my boots over here, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you seen that man's mustache? It is quite elegant. He could might throw Tree Fitty and 5 tuds on us. You never know, man.
Well, can you imagine? Jesus Christ. It would be the most somber freaking post-game episode of all time if that happened.
I feel like we would just be flabbergasted. We'd be like, how'd you beat the Niners?
I'd call for Joe Woods back if that shit happened.
Jesus, don't bring up that name here. That's like bringing up the devil in the house, buddy. Calm down. But yeah, it's I feel
I don't need to remember that nonsense.
Yeah, I don't want to think about it. I just
I feel good.
No, but 2 heads linger in my brain of bad Browns defense. It's Joe Woods' dumbass face and Andrew Sendejo. I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah, he was fucking awful.
Yeah, that
Jesus
dude.
Christ.
I remember in Madden 21, and that was the playoff year. I remember he was our starting free safety, and in Madden he was like the playoffs. Talking about playoffs, we are playing the Colts, but no, I just remember he.
Gotta win a damn game first.
Oh god, I'll move on. I don't want to talk about that trash, that big old piece of trash.
Big old piece of trash.
All right, buddy.
God, we got better safe now. We have Juan Thornhill's bitch ass and an old Granny Delpit.
Oh, Granny Delpit, baby. Yeah, I might take my granny over Anderson Dejo. But anyway, let's stop rambling here. Let's get on to it, and I'll swing it over to you. I
concur.
Yeah, let's swing it over to you, buddy. With let's just start it here. Our 3 keys to victory this week against the Indianapolis Colts.
Win. That's my first key to victory.
Did you say win?
I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. So my first key to victory: establish the running game early, get Ford and Hunt some touches, and get the ground game going.
Yes.
I think that's going to be big against the Colts, especially because we saw Watson's practicing today again, thankfully. I don't know why part of me is just thinking, I have a feeling he's going to miss one more game. He's going to miss this game and come back against the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm kind of up in the air. I do have 2 score predictions, like one for if he does play, one if he doesn't.
You son of a bitch. I'll have to come up with the second one then real quick. Anyway, after my point, establish the running game early. Like I said, get Ford and Hunt some touches. So I think that's important to get those 2 guys going after their best week as a duo last week against the 49ers.
For sure. And I completely agree. My first key to victory is actually pretty similar. It's not necessarily getting the touches and getting the run game going. I think that's a little more self-explanatory for me. It's I want to
always copy me, don't you?
Listen, bitch. Let me say my point.
Okay, go ahead.
My key more so is continue with the diversity of runs. I felt like we were finally starting to see that last week. We're running a lot more tosses, different inside-outside zones. Like I said, changing up with who's carrying the ball. I'd like to see some QB runs thrown in there, obviously, especially if it's a Watson. Keep him safe. Let's not run QB draws right up the middle, even though apparently, according to Watson, that wasn't even the play. He hurt his shoulder, but less more important topics here. But
Jesus Christ. I'm going to be wincing all day long if he's playing.
Yeah,
Anytime
I know.
he takes a sack, I'm going to be wincing.
I'd say DeForest Buckner's going to sniff his jocks. I'm going to go like, oh, God.
God, he better not. We got to keep him healthy.
No, for sure. But yeah, no, my first key is very similar. Just I want to continue to diversify the run game because even though this Colts defense has given up a decent bit of yards, they're still really talented defense. They're really good against the run. They got some good guys there. DeForest Buckner. Their other starting defensive tackle, Grover Stewart's actually suspended, so he won't be playing, but still with DeForest Buckner.
Yeah, I saw that. He misses 6 games, right?
Yep, because he's a stupid fellow, but I'm not going to get into that. Just know he's missing, so...
Yeah, what did he end up... Some domestic violence nonsense?
No, maybe. Let me look. PEDs.
Pretty big, though. I mean, Grover Stewart's awesome, too, so he's not as good as DeForest Buckner, obviously, but he's still pretty awesome.
No, yeah, he's good. That's why I'm happy we don't have to see him. But no, it was PEDs.
6 games for PEDs?
I think they're trying to be more strict on it these days, but...
Hey, just let them all take whatever, and, I think that'll make the game more fun.
I think Myles Garrett would actually commit murder if that was legal.
Yeah, that's true. He'd be fucking... I mean, he already was ragdolling Trent Williams around the place.
But anyway, we're going way off topic. You get into your second key to victory here, buddy.
So my second key to victory, defense needs to remain consistent. Just give up less than 15 points if we can. And we'll get into this when we do our predictions for the score here in a little bit. But if we can remain consistent, we got to win the turnover battle, I think, this week. So defense remain consistent, and I'm going to say give up less than 15 points.
God, I feel like every week it's you with the turnover battle, and then every week we're losing the turnover battle. I swear, if you were a coach on this...
Every fucking week, bro. They never fucking listen to me.
I swear. I'd say if you were a coach on this team, you'd be bursting into the coaches' meetings. Goddamn turnovers! Fucking losing your mind.
I'm going to kill him at halftime.
Shut up, Greg Williams. Oh, man. But, Jesus.
What a guy.
Out
here freaking drinking with people in the Muni lot before the games.
Hey, I'll take it. That's a Clevelander if I've ever seen one, even though he may not be from Cleveland. But I will get into my second point here. My second point is this is kind of more specific if Watson doesn't play, but it does also apply if he does play just because he's missed a couple games. It's establish a bit of a script early with the pass plays. I feel like we saw that a lot with Jacoby Brissett when he played last year. Script your first 10 plays or so, whether it's shotgun from under center or whatever. Just quick, easy reads, whether it's like some hitch routes, curls, quick slants, just some easy read and easy throws to make for either PJ Walker or Watson, vice versa. Just obviously for different reasons. Watson just hasn't played. You want to get him back into the rhythm. And then obviously PJ, as much as I like PJ Walker, he's just not as talented and can't make the same kind of throws, so you want to make it as easy on him as possible and get that confidence going. So just establish a bit of a good opening drive or two script in terms of the plays, especially the pass plays. Make it as easy as you can, especially if PJ Walker's playing, so that way he can get a bit of a rhythm and not be as chaotic, because the Colts have a good defense, but luckily it's not the 49ers defense, so I would like to think PJ Walker, if he plays, would have a better performance.
Yes, sir. That bastard needs to go out there and pigskin a quarter mile. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, dude, like he has a cannon. Like I remember I was showing you the highlights one day of that huge throw he made at the end of the one game
Yeah, he's
last
got
year.
a good ass arm for sure.
I'd say he's got a big arm. Like if he's like not under too much pressure and he's seeing things well, like he can make a little bit of plays here and there. So I'm kind of hoping we can see that happen if he ends up starting at quarterback again for us.
Yeah, me too. I think he'll have a better outing. Knock on wood here, so I don't jinx
sure.
myself. But I think he'll definitely have an easier time than against the 49ers.
No, for sure, for sure.
And on my last key to victory, we kind of touched on this already, but I'm going to harp on it again. Turnover-free football. So this is an easy trap game coming off the high of beating the best team in the league, in my opinion, in the 49ers. We can't come out and have a dud on offense or defense. So play turnover-free football. Even if he doesn't have a ton of passing yards, don't turn the ball over like we did last week, where he threw 2 interceptions. Come out there, play turnover-free ball, and we can hopefully win this game pretty easily.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, before I get into my last key, that's another thing I was going to touch on. I intentionally didn't make it one of my points because I knew you were going to talk about the turnovers.
Once.
Yeah, for definitely. I think this can be the game where it happens.
Yeah.
But no, for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a big thing. Like we're losing the turnover battle. I think we have the biggest turnover differential, at least on the negative side in the league. I'm pretty sure, and we're 3-2.
We're somehow 3-2, so that doesn't add up too well.
Yeah, which again, that shows how good this defense is. But like, it's gonna happen where there's gonna be some days where the defense isn't quite as playing as well as they have been. That just happens. The Legion of Boom had some bad games.
It's not a sustained way to win games for sure.
Right, all the great defenses, Legion of Boom, Steel Curtain, Purple People Eaters, whatever you want to bring up, they've all had, some bad defensive games. It's just going to happen. So we need to be safer with the football. I feel like, honestly, because this defense has exceeded my expectations, if this defense can remain at, even if they're not the best defense in the league, like let's say they have a real fall off and they only are like, let's say top 5, I still think with this level of defense, even if it simmers down, all we need is an offense that just won't turn the ball over and will just control the ball. Like, we don't really need Watson to play like an MVP.
Yeah, we did a good job of that last week, honestly.
No, for sure. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, right, like, I mean, if Watson's back, we don't, as much as we want it, and I want it, and I know you want it, he doesn't have to play like an MVP for us to win games. He just needs to be smart with the ball, make the throws where he needs them, and make 2-3 big plays a game, just like he did against Tennessee, and we'll be fine. But we just can't turn the ball over. So,
right. Can't
agree with you more on that. I didn't know if you had anything else you want to touch on there before I get into my last key.
No, I was going to say I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head there. Play turnover-free ball. I think this is going to be a good chance to actually go out there and do that with us playing the Colts defense. Like you said, DeForest Buckner, Grover Stewart's missing. Who do they currently have in their second? Who's their top cornerback right now?
I can't remember his name.
I'm not super familiar with the Colts secondary at the moment.
Oh, that's right, Julian Blackmon. No, he's pretty good. And then
he's younger. Okay.
Yeah, they're DBs. I mean, he's their best DB, so like it's not anything crazy. The big thing in their defense is their front seven. Okay. Like obviously they have DeForest Buckner, they have Sanson Ebukam and Kwity Paye, who are 2 young but really talented edge rushers. So those are the guys.
Shaq Leonard's still a linebacker, right?
Oh yeah, buddy. Yeah, he's
So with Amari Cooper, I think it's. With that secondary you just mentioned, I don't think we're going to have a problem getting him the ball and him getting some yardage, so I think we'll be okay there.
For sure. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. And with that, my last point is actually pretty dead simple. It's don't overlook the Colts. The Colts are very well coached.
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew, even though he's a backup, I think he's probably one of the top 5 best backups in the league. He's relatively smart with the ball, and he's kind of a gamer. Like he kind of reminds me of Baker Mayfield, just with a way less strong of an arm in a way. And he can definitely...
Yeah, he's got that same attitude for sure.
Yeah, and he can definitely make some plays if you let him. And obviously with those 2 running backs that we haven't really talked about all episode, Zach Moss is playing really, really well. Obviously Jonathan Taylor, we know how good he can be. I think he's coming into his 3rd game back off his suspension, so you never know when he's going to come back and have a great game. So mind your P's and Q's. Be very wary of this rush offense. And just don't overlook the Colts. I think it's that simple. This is games where past Browns teams would come out, play sloppy, and they would lose an ugly one, whereas a great team will come out, take care of business, not bat too much of an eye, not break too much of a sweat, and just get the job done. And that's a game. This is a game. It's an AFC opponent. That's 3-3, also in the playoff race. I know it's really early in the year, but either or, you just got to take care of business, and you can't, have too big of a swelled head after beating the 49ers.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think we're going to have to come out after this game. It should tell us quite a bit about our coaching. But like you said, if we come out, lay a dud on offense and defense, and lose this game somehow, it's going to tell a lot about the coaching staff we have in place. Can't overlook them. I think that's probably the biggest key to victory. Like you already touched on, we can't be overlooking this team after beating the 49ers. Yes, it's great that we won a game against the best team in the league that nobody on paper predicted us to win. But then we can't go out and lose one Colts. So gotta get it done here this week.
For sure. And with that,
I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be real pissed if we come out and give up freaking 30 points to the damn Colts after freaking shutting the Niners down.
Oh man, I might not have a TV if we lose to the Colts, damn it. But anyway, let's
it's not going to be good.
Let's be
this
positive.
Is prime positioning to go 4-2 after this week. We can't be coming out of this 3-3.
No, for sure, definitely, especially as we got the Seahawks next week, who are definitely a formidable opponent.
Especially.
You know what? Your mother. Anyway, let's get into some score predictions.
That's going to be a tough game too on the road with the 12th man. It's going to be a tough one to come away with next week. So you really got to take care of business this week.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but let's get into some score predictions, buddy. Do you want to go first, or you want me to take it? I don't care. Whatever you want, buddy.
Yeah, we can go first. So I'm going to say this is with or without Deshaun playing. I'm going to go Browns 21, Colts 10.
Ooh, so just a hard statement, 21-10, either way.
21-10, yeah, because I think if Deshaun comes back, he's going to get a little rusty from not playing the last couple weeks. And even without Deshaun, I think I almost said Steelers. I think the Indianapolis defense is a little easier than the defense we played last week. So I think P.J. Walker will be able to get it going a little bit more.
I 100% agree, and I kind of have similar thoughts that I do think Watson will be a little rusty coming back. Might not look quite as good as he did against the Titans.
Spit it out, Junior.
Oh God, but no, but I agree. He might not look quite as good as he did against the Titans. But with that, I do have two separate score predictions. I've been thinking about it the last few days. If P.J. Walker plays at quarterbacks, I do favor the Browns. I think the
21-10, right?
21-10, totally the same score. No. But I actually, I'm going to say if P.J. Walker plays, I'm going to say we win. I actually think it'll be kind of close. I'm going to say 20-13 with P.J. Walker. Just because, as we saw against the Niners, with P.J. in there, there's always an extra chance for maybe an extra turnover or two that we normally wouldn't have with Watson. And with that, you might have some more 3-and-outs. Defense could get a little bit tired, maybe give up a couple extra plays that they wouldn't with Watson. That being said, with Watson, even if he's rusty, I think we make this game look pretty easy. Have some struggles here and there because the Colts are still a solid team, but I think with Watson, Browns take care of business. I'll say 27-10. Pretty comfortably with Watson.
Okay.
But that's my overall score predictions here. I've had the two. I've had it insane in the brain here for the last couple.
I hope it's a ladder. I hope our boy comes back this week because I'd like to kind of see him get rolling and establish some chemistry with somebody outside of Amari Cooper. I kind of want to see what he can really do with Elijah Moore. So to really get this offense rolling, especially in the pass game, we need to see him back on the field here very soon.
No, for sure. I definitely agree with you. But, obviously, I want us to play it safe with him. And I don't know if you watched his little press conference he did before practice yesterday.
Yeah, I saw most of it.
I appreciated the honesty that he had about the injury. And I think it did clear up a lot of stuff about the confusion because I'll just fill in just any of you guys listening that may not know, that may not, be as anal about the Browns as we are. Especially, I get a little ridiculous. But
I don't know if that's the word to use.
I
don't know about anal, but we'll come up with a different word.
That's all right. I'll re-say that sentence just for you, buddy.
No, you're good. I'm kidding.
But either way, Watson. So basically, he explained that after the Titans game, he had some swelling in the shoulder, and at first it was considered to just be swelling. It was maybe just some bruising, some swelling, and they felt pretty good about it. And they weren't able to get the MRI in until the Saturday before the Ravens game, when the swelling went down. So that's why it was so last second. That's when the swelling went down. They did the MRI and they revealed, they're like, oh, okay, here you got a strain and there's some micro tears. So that's why during that week of the Ravens game, they were so optimistic about him playing until the very last second, and that explains why DTR didn't know he was playing until Sunday morning. But with that, I'm happy that he was really open and honest about the injury, and he was real. He was like, yeah, I really don't know when this will be good. It could be tomorrow. It could be a couple weeks from now. Now, it's a great sign that he was back at practice today, and I hope to see him back, but end all be all, I'd rather us be safe than sorry, because this is definitely a game you can win without Watson. Now, next week at Seattle, you kind of want Watson in there.
Yeah, I definitely hear you there. And when I read that too, the micro tear thing, that shit sounds damn near terrifying, doesn't it? Micro tear. That sounds way fucking worse than what it actually is. Because I read that and I was like, what in the hell? I'm like, what is a micro tear?
No, that's what a strain is, though.
Reading into the injury, I'm like, okay. I'm like, it just sounds very scary.
No, yeah, no, for sure. No, it definitely sounds awful when you just read it on paper, but no, that's what a strain technically is. Like, you can strain a ligament or a muscle, and what that is that's just micro tears. But again, you want to be safe with that, because obviously if they throw him out there too early, like let's say he did go out there in the Ravens game, and then he took a big hit or just overextended his arm, and then boom, there's a torn rotator cuff, and he's out for God knows how long.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want for sure.
But
it's not good. And I think with him too, I think it's a great sign, like you said, that he finally spoke to the media, and then we saw him throwing the ball around, even if he doesn't play on Sunday. It's good just to see him out there throwing the ball around a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like the practice report tomorrow is going to kind of tell a lot, whether he was if he was a full participant tomorrow, I feel pretty good about him playing. If he's still limited, I'd lean towards he's not going to play, but we'll just find that out as we go.
Yeah.
But with that,
I have a feeling you're probably right on that, and I think we'll know by tomorrow.
No, for sure. Do you have anything else you want to add before we get on out of here?
I don't think so, man. I was going to say, I think it should be a pretty easy victory for us this week. Just like you said, we cannot overlook the Indianapolis Colts. If we do, we're going to be 3-3, and we're going to be raising hell on Sunday in the post-game rant.
Yeah, it'll be a real something, but, let's hope for some positivity this weekend. But, again, with that, we appreciate you guys for listening. This was episode 6 of Cold Takes from the Land. Like I said, as I keep saying, every single episode, we have a Guardians video in the works. It's really close.
Don't give him false hope, buddy. Don't give him false hope.
All right, actually, this is our last episode. We're going to end it here. No, I'm just kidding. But, no, we have the...
Sorry, guys, we're getting canceled. We'll be back in a couple years.
Yeah, we may or may not have said some things on Twitter. No, but I'm just kidding. But we got the Guardians video.
Gosh.
Yeah, we got the Guardians video coming soon, like very soon, I promise. And then we'll have the Cavs stuff coming when the season starts. That's also really close too. But again, we really appreciate you guys for listening. We love the engagement we're getting. We're getting decent little bits of views on our videos. Some are better, some are worse, getting some likes. But we appreciate every one of you guys that are listening, and we hope to keep building as we go. And we'll see you guys with the post-game report Sunday evening. And with that, once again, it's been episode 6 of Cold Takes from the Land, and we'll see you hopefully with the Browns win in the next video.
Yeah, buddy. Signing off. Cold Takes from the Land.